afternoon, everybody. How are you guys all doing today? We'll give everybody a minute here. How's everybody's day? It's so nice and sunny here. Hey Janet, how are you doing? Hi Rhonda. Has anyone started their Christmas cards already? Janet, I can't remember if I've seen Christmas cards from you. I think so. I like doing Christmas cards at this time. It's still early, obviously, but it's kind of nice just having the time. Yes, you've been doing them all year. You're so good. And I meant to do them all year and have not, but I still enjoy doing it at this time because I feel like I still have time to kind of enjoy the whole process. I'm not rushed. I can, you know, tuck them away after they're done and they'll be ready to give out in December when I want to send out my cards. So I have a bunch ready that I need to assemble. And I like the feeling of not being super rushed and just kind of enjoying this. It is gorgeous today in Calgary. We are seeing some fall weather, so I'm definitely in the fall spirit, but I'm okay with adding some Christmas spirit in there too. So this is the card we're going to make today. It is a slimline card, and I recently made this, well, I made this for Make and Take at the carnival with scrap Shotz, and then I used a lot of the same elements to make another card, and added some little characters that I had colored and cut out. So this is a good base that you can make some cards, and then if you have some stamped images that you want to add to them, then you're just adding them in, and you can change it up. You can change up the sentiment if you want. And here's a look at the products that we're using. So this is the Spellbinders embossing folder. So they've come out with a few, I don't know if you can see that there, a few slimline folders. It's probably easier like this. So this one has the stripes on it that you can see in the background. And then I think there's 3 different other designs that are in the Scrap Shotz store. And if anything is sold out, just click on email to be notified, or you can send Sandy at scrapshotz.com an email and just let her know that you're looking for them, and she can make sure that she gets those in for you. So this is kind of a little example of how they've used the card, and this little car is also a Spellbinders die, as well as these sentiments, which are really cute, and we used the sentiments last week on our card. We used Christmas greetings. And these are the bottle brush trees, of course. So they have also, I should have brought it, but I forgot it downstairs. There was a sample card that we made in a class with Spellbinders, and it had a rainbow of trees all the way across, and it was really cute. So definitely get creative with your trees. Hello, Tamara, how are you doing? And just have fun with colors and however you want to decorate them. So you could do it tone on tone, and you could do red with another shade of red for the inside. And I really love how it cuts out all these elements. So you've got the big and the small tree, and then you've got the little stand, which is super cute. You can either use that or not, but it's made to look like a little tree stand, which I think is really cute. So here is a look at those dies. The background, you could even just use the background trees if you wanted to do some elements in the background. Hi, Sherry. And then you've even got these little ornaments that you could decorate your trees, little stars and little baubles. And that's the little base. And another way that they've used it on the back. So Spellbinders has a lot of really nice dies. They have that shopping cart one too, which is super cute. This one is a PHOTOPLAY stamp set, and it has your big Merry and Christmas, and then it has all these little sentiments. So we're going to use "'Tis the Season to be Merry," but you could really switch it up, and there's so many. So this one is in the store. I think it is on sale right now if you want to grab it. I know the dies are showing sold out, so either if you're interested in those, you can click on the email to be notified, or email Sandy and she can order those in for you. But the dies cut out either the word or the outline. So you can use the stamp with the outline. You could use, cut out the Merry that you've stamped. There's a lot of options, or just use the die cut. And then these are these fun little hills. So these are meant to fit a slimline card, but you can also use them on a regular card. There's another example that they have there. So you could use them on just an A2 card by adjusting how far apart your hills are, and they're really neat. And of course we're going to use, hey Jennifer, we're going to use some of this beautiful Opal Blaze polish. So this comes either in the little, these little tubs, the glass jars, or you can get them with the applicator that has the little wand, and they're both the same product. They're just in a different jar. I think maybe the applicator is a newer release of the product for them, but they're both the same product. We are going to try some glitter dust today. So I was kind of thinking this had come back into the store, and it's always been really popular and seems to sell out pretty quickly, but it's in there now, and I'll show you how it looks on the background, so you can get an idea of, if you're spraying that on your cardstock and just getting a different glittery effect if you don't have glitter cardstock or you didn't want to use glitter cardstock. And then of course we're using some Dream Drops. This one is Cloud 9, but there's a bunch of different colors, and they are an iridescent kind of pearly drop, and they look different depending on the background. If you smudge them on a black background, they have an iridescent sheen. You saw something you don't have. Hey Tammy, how are you? What is that? The glitter dust? You ordered more from Sandy? Yeah, it's popular, hey? And especially Christmas, I think you need to zhuzh it up, right? And some Spellbinders glitter dust, yes. Yeah, it's fabulous. So you'll see how to use that. And yeah, so let's get to making our card. And Tammy, it was so good to see you at Carnival. And Sandy and Rosie and a bunch of other girls are actually at Carnival, whatever I have in my hand. Oh yes, the Dream Drops. They're fabulous. So if I have any white, I'll show you a little bit here. You can either drop them. Yeah, I know, it's been a long time, hey? They make a perfect little drop. We'll just use this on the back of our little hill. If you hold them straight upside down and do your little drop, and they kind of self-level, and so they make a really nice little perfectly formed blob. And then you can also smudge it on. So this one has just a pearly finish, but if you put it on black, so we're going to do something else with this, but this is the back of it, just to give you an idea. And they're all kind of react differently. So look at that. So you can do lots of fun things with that as well. So let's start by taking our slimline card, and this is just cut at, what did I cut it here? 8.5, so the width of a piece of paper, 8.5, and then I cut it down to 7. So it's folded at 3.5. So you've got a 3.5 by 8.5 inch card base for your slimline, and this will just fit into the number 10 envelope, I think it is, and just mails as a regular card. It helps if you have a bone folder and just kind of press that down. Then we've got our embossing folder. So I've cut some, this is some basil cardstock. Hello, Doris. Sometimes I see when people pop in and sometimes I don't. So we're just lining this up. We've got that textured side on the top. And I just want it so that the lines are pretty straight. And then you're going to put this in. It's a little bit thicker because it's a 3D folder. So it's a little bit thicker than a regular embossing folder. You just got some of them, Tammy. You'll love them. And I'm going to put it in. Now, even though I just have my Cuttlebug here and it's going to stick out the end, I'm going to roll it through to here and roll it back, and then do the same on the other side. So I just have the top plate in, and then I have a couple shims of paper, and you'll be able to, you know, depending on what you're using, you'll be able to tell what thickness you need or what plates you need. Sometimes I just play around with it, and if it feels like it's too thick, I don't force it to go in. So here is the folder. Isn't it pretty? I love it. Like, I love these stripes. They're so nice and can be used for anything. So I think that there's 4 different ones in the store. All right, so while we have that out, before we glue it on, first we are going, just make sure I'm seeing some comments. Good, hi Kim. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of shimmer. So this is the card, and I actually used opal polish when we did this at the show, but I didn't have my opal polish here. Rosie's using it at the show, so I decided to grab, let's use pink blueberry. So this shows what it looks like on dark. So this is really, this opal blaze shows up differently whether it's on dark or light as well. And just to give you an idea, and I haven't, you know what, I haven't had these out and they might be a little dry. If yours dry out, take your water, I should have done this before, hi Betty, add some water to it and let it sit, and it is completely water soluble. So if you ever have any that dry out, put your water in and let it sit. So we might have to let this sit and use a different color, but we'll just see how that does. And we'll check this one. I haven't used these in a while. Yeah, this one is dry too. But I have the avocado. I just knew that it wasn't in the shop. So we might have to pull that out. And sometimes even after I use it, I will actually do that. So you can see this one is creamy, and those as well will just absorb the water, and then you just are able to dip your finger in or use a little sponge or something that you want. And these So depending on, I know the avocado is not in right now, but again, that's something Sandy will get in, or it could be in the other applicator. I just saw that it wasn't in the, so you can smooth it out. The avocado has a really green gold look. That's gonna have to sit for a little bit, so we're just gonna leave that. The pink blueberry has this purpley look on black, and then they look different on white as well. So on white, this one here has almost a kind of a shimmery green toned look. And I just have to get a wipe. So if I think about this, we will check these at the end. This one is the green. And then this one is, where are we here? This one is the turquoise peach. So on white, it has more of a peachy undertone. And then on black, you're getting that, it's almost like a purpley with a blue shimmer. They're very pretty. And here you can see that's kind of dried a little bit more. So they're all nice. Whatever color you have is going to look amazing. So we'll use this one for right now just because the other ones need to sit. So all I do if I'm going to do some splatters is I just grab a little bit, and I'll probably like just put a little bit of water in there as well, so it can also just absorb some water. I do like that about these, the opal polishes and the opal blaze. If they ever start to dry out, just add the water to them, and you're good to go again, and they clean up really easily with water. So I'm just adding a little bit of water and mixing it around, and look at that beautiful shimmer. And I'm going to take my paintbrush and then just tap. So you're going to get a whole bunch of shimmery goodness, and you can do a lot with these opal blazes. I've used this a lot and I still have a lot left. So you can color, and if you stamp something black on white, you can color over it, you can rub it over the background, and it'll make that black really just pop. Of course, you can do lots of splatters. So that looks good for splatters. And once that dries, that's really gonna pop. And we'll just set that aside for a minute to dry. Now, I'm gonna check this again, just because I really wanted to show you guys this one. But if it's not ready, then we'll use, you can see it's starting to mix around. We might be able to use it. But if you just put the cover on and set it aside, when you come back to it, it's just in a really nice consistency. It's not, you don't have to mix it. I'm gonna try this, but we might have to go back to our avocado. Oh yeah, there you can see. So this one here is pink blueberry, and it just gives you an idea. So this is watered down because the water hasn't absorbed fully, but you can paint with this if you embossed like a flower image or something and then wanted to paint with it. You do the same thing, pull some of the paste out, mix it with water, and then just add your color. So isn't that pretty? I love that. So this is an idea of what the green looked like on the black. So here I use the avocado, And then this is the pink blueberry. And you know what? Let's just see. I have another black one, and we're just gonna see what the turquoise peach looks like, and we'll see what looks better. So I know Janet had started some Christmas cards. Has anybody else started some Christmas cards? So this is the Merry die cut out from that PHOTOPLAY Merry Christmas die set. Okay, so what do we got here? We did the pink blueberry. We're gonna try the turquoise peach. So I think having shimmer on your Christmas cards, definitely fun. So we added a little bit of water to that, and I'm being impatient, so I'm trying to stir it. But I would normally just do it and come back to it the next day. You've made a few, Doris? Yeah. I love making them now because I feel like, oh, that's pretty. I feel like I can really just enjoy the whole process. And then I might make more closer to Christmas that are a bit quicker. These ones I can take my time, and so how pretty is that? Look at that shimmer. So in the light, I don't know if it's showing up, it looks really turquoisey, and I know through the camera, for me, it's looking almost purple. But when I look at it directly, it looks like turquoise. So, and then this one is the pink blueberry. Oh, you can almost see the difference when you look at them close together. So both very pretty. I think the turquoise peach will look better for what we're doing today. But if you had a bunch of pink Christmas trees, you could do pink and purple and then have this one. That would look really pretty. All right. So we're going to go with the turquoise peach. Then we've got our hills. So we've cut our hills with the, it's called Color Block Scenic Scape, and it's the hill dies from Spellbinders. And we've got our middle piece, and we've got one for each side. So however you want to kind of arrange it, if you had a smaller card, then you're going to put them smaller. And we are going to start out by, we're going to grab our Distress Oxide, and I forgot to bring my little handle, so I'm just going to wing it. So this is the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide. I'm just adding a little bit onto the edges, just to give a really subtle shading. And it doesn't show up really until we get it onto our card, but then you notice that little bit of shading. So any kind of light blue or a gray would work too. So that's our shading. My hands are very sparkly now. And also, if you have this on your stencils or your paintbrushes, you don't have to worry about rinsing it right off immediately, because you can put it in water and it'll come off. So I just grabbed a little splat box so I don't spray everything with glitter. So this has a bunch of paint and stuff in it. Guess it doesn't matter. And we've got our little hills positioned. So glitter dust, you're going to shake this. This is the iridescent. I'm just shaking it back and forth. You just want to mix it up. It is good to have the door open or window open or something when you're spraying. You don't want to spray it too much in an enclosed space. So I'm just spraying it right on. Doesn't really take any time to dry. Now, I can see it here, but I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Oh, there we go. And then I would just wipe the nozzle off, give it a little bit of a wipe, just because I do that with all my sprays. And can you see, I don't know, can you pick that up in the camera? It is shimmery and glittery. You can see in the light. I can see it, but I'm not sure if you can tell. It adds a really nice shimmer. Does that pick up at all in the camera? I think so. So it looks just like a really, like a pearly, glittery paper. I think it's a really great way to add some sparkle without using like a whole bunch of glitter paper, especially if these were on, you know, cards that you're going to make a whole bunch of. So we are going to glue on our background. And just add some glue and then just center it on. So I didn't worry about adding too many splatters. Some of them got more towards the bottom, but really I just added them more towards the top. Then I have my roll of tape. This one is the Studio Cadia tape. I think I'm like a quarter of the way through, but 3L as well has a big roll. So how you're going to position this, the glitter is so nice, guys. Sometimes I forget to pull this out. I know Tamara uses this, the glitter dust, a lot. So you're going to put the middle one on first. Okay. So we're just, it doesn't have to be even exactly in the center because you have room to play. So we're putting the center one on. And when I cut these, I cut a strip that was, I don't know how tall is this, an inch and a quarter. So I cut a strip that's an inch and a quarter, and then I did all my cuts from that, so I knew they were all the same height at the top of the peak. Then we're going to put a piece of foam tape on the end of each one. And you don't have to like tape everything down. And then you're going to put a little bit just on the tip. And then that way it's going to keep it on there firmly. So just line it up with the edge and the bottom and stick it on. I have ink. I think I need to get a new wipe. It's always better to probably wash your hands in between mixed media and white cardstock. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So my kids and I put up fall decorations today, fall and Halloween decorations. I figured that it was close enough to the end of September where we could do both. Sometimes we just, if we get to it earlier, we'll just put up fall things. So I'm going to put that on like that. And then you've got this beautiful kind of snowy hills. And again, I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but I can see it and it's beautiful. So you've got the shimmer in the background, and then you've got that glitter dust on the hills. So then we are going to glue our trees together. We've got gold cardstock. This is the Spellbinders brushed gold cardstock. It's a really nice, feels a little bit heavier than just a regular cardstock, but it's beautiful. I really like how the Spellbinders cardstock, any of it, how it die cuts. It's really beautiful. So when we go to apply it, we're just going to put a line of glue right down the center and then glue that on. And it doesn't have to be perfect either, but it's pretty easy just to line up. And that glue is clear, so anything that shows is going to dry clear. And then we've got the other two. So you're sticking those on. Very easy. Oops, tree is getting away. And again, you can do the basic bare bones of the scene and then add in little stamped critters or characters. If you want, you can add more trees. And then we have this base. Now I did find, these are small, so having some tweezers helps. And maybe what we'll do first is we'll attach our little banner here. So this is stamped "'Tis the Season 2B," and that's from the Merry Christmas Photoplay stamp set. And I just tied it around twice, so just a piece of pink twine. Sandy does have several different colors of twine in the store. I like having different colors on hand. And I like the neutral one as well. I find that it works for a lot of things, especially fall. Okay, so we have our little bow there. Are you guys bow tiers or not bow tiers? I think some people struggle with them and some people don't mind. So we're going to glue this right down because the Mary is going to be popped up. So we'll glue that kind of to there. And this is just white cardstock cut in a banner shape. There we go. And then we've got our Mary that we did with the turquoise peach. So we're going to glue on our sentiment. I do like the metal tip that comes with, or that you can buy for that art glitter glue. So just by adding that opal blaze to the back of the cardstock, you get a really fun look to your black, and it's just kind of that another element of adding some sparkle to your cards. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to this. So I should have grabbed some foam dots, but I didn't. So what are you guys up to this weekend? My kids are out of school for today and tomorrow. It was parent-teacher interviews and some parent or teacher development day tomorrow, so they've got a couple days off. has some plans with her friend, but we don't have any plans for the weekend, although I think it's supposed to be really nice here. And with the leaves starting to turn, we always try to do a drive and go somewhere that you can see the pretty colors. So we've always, I don't know why I'm having trouble with this today. We always have good luck with like Bragg Creek area is really nice. So we might do that. All right, we're gonna stick our little Mary right there, and it's kind of overlapping. And then we've got our trees. So what I think is easiest to do is add a little bit, maybe if we position the tree, add a little bit of glue where the base is going to go. And then add in our little base first. And we also need a little piece of foam tape at the top of each of these. And then I'll add a little bit of glue just to the bottom. So that's our first tree. It doesn't need a whole lot. You could add a little bit more kind of under the base. But then that tree just kind of sits in the base, which I think is really cute. Okay, this one can go over here in this area. So we'll just put a little bit of glue there. And same thing. So we'll add our foam tape to the top. And I've really been thinking that I need to finish up my December 2020 album before I start this year. So I've got my photos, they're all ready to print, and I'm kind of in the mood to do that. So I think I might start working on that. I like the gold with this. It's kind of just one more element of a little bit of shimmer. And I think the tree looks good. Maybe right there. So these tree bases, I actually cut them both out of craft cardstock, and then I used a Copic marker to color the smaller part that layers on top, and that way I didn't have to do two die cuts. If that makes sense. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? I just saw my music stopped because it said I have no internet connection. Just give me a little thumbs up there if you're still good. It looks like my video is still going. Internet problems are so annoying, hey? Okay, and then we are going, oh good. We're gonna try the Dream Drop. So these are the Nouveau Dream Drops. There's probably 7 or 8 colors. Thanks, Betty. And they are just awesome. So I usually try to just hold my bottle straight up, and then when a little blob comes out, I'm gonna zoom in try to zoom in. I just kind of whisk it around in a circle, and then you do want to give those a little bit to dry. Betty, are you going to the carnival in Edmonton? And you can make it as big or small as you want. There we go. So yeah, you do want to set that aside to dry, probably for at least like half an hour or so. And there's a look at our Christmas card. I love the shimmer and the glitter. Yeah, I think you can see that glitter on from the glitter dust. I'm a fan of that for sure. So that is a look. If you feel well enough, yeah. Well, I hope you are feeling well. Say hi to the Scrap Shotz girls for me if you go. And yeah, if you guys need anything, for sure, let us know or message us. And hope you have a great weekend, whether you're attending the carnival or if you're doing some yard work or doing some crafting. And have fun. And I will see you next week at 1 o'clock, and we'll have more fun again. So thanks for stopping in. Thanks for staying during the crafting time. Hopefully this inspired you to get some crafting done as well. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for stopping in. And we will see you guys later. Have a great day.